Hello everyone, welcome back to this playthrough of the German solo mode of enemy action Kharkov. This is the fourth German impulse, and let me start by reviewing the situation of map and the cards we've got in our hand, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. So this is the situation. You can see up here mobile group Popov is pushing towards its objective. The third corps is more or less intact, let's say. The 40th corps is here, nothing much has happened over there. Third tank army has advanced along our retreat. We have retreated the 48th corps there, and no battle right now. Some units of Corps Raus have successfully retreated, some others have been caught up, and the second SS Corps has been deployed. I have already analyzed the thinking behind this deployment, and now let's review the cards we've got in our hand. And let me remind you, these are the last 4 cards in our hand. Our draw pile is empty, so for the rest of the turn we'll have to make do with these cards. The Soviets have 6 or 7 cards, could easily mean, depending on the cards, of course, they got at least 4 to 6, maybe even 7. They could get 7 activations out of them. So at some point I won't be able to respond to these activations, so I'll try and set up my units the best I can. So these are the cards. Of course, the 40th corps up here hasn't seen any action yet. Of course, I would be tempted to attack this one-step Popov unit that got itself advancing there and surrounded. It would be quite easy to to eliminate it. Well, nothing is ever easy in a combat, but I think I want what I will do now is to keep this card because I have a corpse here, quite fresh, let's say, and quite mobile, so I intend to keep it that way so as to be able to react if something goes really bad. Besides, this corps here is always a threat to Slavyansk and of course to the Soviet supplies, and maybe this will prevent the Soviets from advancing. They have to keep some units behind to guard Slavyansk, okay, and Izium, of course. It's at a short distance there, and the same goes for the third corps. I've got no card for the third corps, so I don't think I can do much. The same goes for the second SS Panzer Corps. I have just deployed. I could. There's no restriction after the deployment. You can. It's not an activation. I could activate them, but same here. Want to keep them as mobile reserve, and move them where need might be. Let's say in the middle of our front between the 2 areas of interest here, so I could move them either way if need be. 57th, I don't have any unit of the 57th. It was eliminated last Soviet impulse, but it's got I could use it to activate any one unit. Maybe the situation becomes desperate and I just have to save a unit or move it to prevent something being taken. Also, it's got a useful combat tactic, but it's got an event engineers, which will allow me to place IPs if need arises. If I can't move any units or something, I could use it to place IPs on my units and give them a better chance of survival. And last but not least, Corps Raus. There are 2 units here, 1 dispersed, and there are 3 units over here. And what I think I will do is use the card to activate Corps Raus, try to get these units into a better place. After the 3rd tank army advance, I'm a little bit worried about my left flank here, and at some point the 69th army, the 40th army are going to be activated and will come right to us. They're not very strong units, but it's nice to have them. I would like to preserve them, and of course these units that I have withstood so far, and maybe I can try and save or do something else with them. We'll see that during the activation. So let's get these cards the way. So what we're going to do, we play Corps Raus card, and we will activate all units in Corps Raus, no reserves and Corps Raus, of course. So we'll activate the units on the map. So let me focus in our 2 areas of interest, and let's see what we can do with our units. So let's see what we can do with these units here. Here, that's it. It's the 69th and the 40th, and they will definitely come. I mean, I've got them previous activation. They got out of the artillery barrage, so that's something. Into woods, let's say a bit more defensible terrain. But now the 3rd tank army has, come quite close to them. And here's a zone of control of this unit, so it's getting quite close. Also, there's a gap here through which this unit could very easily go. Well, I don't think it's got enough movement points to get to Belgorod, but it could definitely, it will definitely try to get to Belgorod and generally cross the river or get behind this unit. So what I think I will do, I'll try and close this gap. I mean, it would be tempting to surround this unit. I mean, by moving these units here, from here to here, I would in fact surround this unit and keep it from moving and effectively blocking this this road here. But then the Soviets would get a better chance. I mean, last time we checked attacks, they couldn't, tactical value was low, couldn't attack this unit. But when they were surrounded, they get +1, they're desperate to break through. So maybe this battle would happen, and I'm worried that some other units will come and just reinforce them, and it's not a good outcome. Well, what I think we will do though is, well, first of all, we'll try and get this unit into Belgorod. It's a city, it's 2 VP, 2 victory points. I mean, I would prefer to defend Belgorod than Volchansk over there. And also it's quite close to my left flank. I don't want to be easily, at least not easily, without a battle, outflanked. And because the other hexes here is, they're just clear terrain, in the path of any advancing unit from the armies up there, I would prefer to get a unit into Belgorod, so the Soviets will have to actually fight to get into it. Not the they can't do it, but I'll try and make it as hard for them as possible. So let's check this unit. Will go 1, 2, 3, and it's going to Belgorod. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's going to Belgorod. I mean, the only concern is units coming through here and attacking. The units that will come from here, they will have to attack across the river, so it's good. But I mean, if they get through here, then they could surround us, but I'll have to worry about it at another time. I can't get everything, not enough units, as I've said, to cover the whole terrain. What I think I will do now is, well, as I said, I'm tempted, it would be tempting to surround this unit, block the Soviet advance, but I don't think that's the best move right now. What I will try do is, maybe these units will get some other units and attack them, and they're just, 3 steps between them, just infantry. What I think I will do is get them here, so the zone of control controls these hexes, so this unit can't easily advance, find itself here, and also the zone of controls here and here. I mean, here creates a little bit of a choke point for the Soviets. I mean, they can use the road as effectively, and of course they could just bypass the road, but they've said we can't do everything. So yeah, I think this will be it. So both have 4 movements, so it would be 1 plus 2. They would come here, and the zone control includes all these hexes, so we link up our zones of control here and here. Zone of control, so can't get through that, and we control this road here, this hex. They'll have to go around, just buying time, trying for the best. So that's about it in this sector. Let's see about our other units up there. Okay, the situation up here is a little bit more complex, because these units are not in the best of positions, obviously. I mean, they're still inside the artillery barrage zone, but it's quite tricky to retreat them. Of course, I could retreat these units. Okay, 2, 3, 4, or 2 to break the zone of control. 2, 3, and now it can go there. But it could go outside and closer to other zonal units. But then this would mean I would have to leave this dispersed unit alone, and this is just 1 step to strength, which means that it would be very easy for the Soviets to just gobble it up in 1 go, and that would be it. And I mean, okay, we'll have to lose quite a few units during the first few turns, but I don't want to lose them so pointlessly. The problem is that it's dispersed, so it will lose the dispersion marker at the end of the activation, so it can't go anywhere. It will have to to stay behind, and then it's going to, as soon as these units activate, or even mobile group pop-off will activate, it's 3 to 1. It's well, maybe we're lucky, but pretty much it's history. So I think I'll opt for a more risky solution. I'll try something a little bit more risky and leave this unit as it is. Leave it here, And what happens is that if this unit doesn't move during this activation, of course I'm not attacking, it is entitled to get an improved position, an IP. The thing is that dispersed units can't get an IP. I mean, this unit couldn't get an IP, and but if it was by itself, because you first place by the order of by which we execute commands and in the activation, we first place IP markers, and then we remove the dispersed markers. So a dispersed unit cannot receive an IP, and it's also in the rules. It can only receive an IP if it is stacked with an eligible unit, which means an undispersed, like this unit, and of course the units have to be in supply. I mean, okay, no problem here, because these units are not surrounded. They can, I mean, any of these hexes is a valid supply head, or even this hex, yes, it's not in enemy zone or control, is a valid supply hex right now. There, no problem with tracing supply right now. So this unit, with the 3 strength, is eligible to receive an IP. The good thing about an IP is that both units benefit. I mean, the whole hex benefits from the IP, even if one of the units in it is dispersed. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place an IP using this unit, and I mean, and that's probably everything. So the last thing we're doing in an activation, whether German or Soviet, is to undisperse, remove the dispersed markers from the unit. I mean, this unit can't do anything else, and of course each one doesn't get to do anything else because they have received the IP. So what we do now is, we've got a stack with okay, it's got an IP, it's got 5 strength, so the Soviets will have to do, we'll have to get more units to attack it, and also they cannot just ignore it. I mean, the good thing with having placed my units this way is that they have to guard this town here, Kupiansk and Izium, and even Slavyansk. They've got to keep some units there because they cannot advance. Remember the Soviet restrictions for movement or advance or whatever. They can't leave towns they have conquered. They can't leave Soviet towns proximate to German units, and both this town, Kupiansk, and Izium, of course, are proximate to these units, and of course this one. So they will have to deal with this unit. It is not much, but it is an obstacle in their effort to to move forward as quickly as they can. So I mean, that's all. That's all we get for German activation. We of course get the German Corps Raus activation marker on our calendar. It doesn't matter much. I don't have any other card to activate Corps Raus, so it's going to be okay. But just as a reminder, it's good practice to remind me, and also of course I can't next impulse activate any unit from this corps. So I mean, that's about it. This card, yeah, it goes to primary discards, the Corps Raus card, and yeah, I think that's all for now. And okay, we'll be right back in our next part with the beginning of the Soviet impulse. So, bye for now.